Good morning. I have a question for all of you. Are your resolutions going to make it to the end of January? How many resolutions have you made over the years and they don't even make it out of the first week? We're here to help you with that. My name's Carol Henderson, and I'm one of your Monday morning Maven motivators. And my whole goal is to help people to live a better life, a life by design. And I'm here with ABarbaraEllison. She's my co-host here. And our goal is to help your life be better in every area. So, Barbara?
And exactly, I'm on a mission to make happiness the norm rather than the exception. And part of happiness is being the best ever version of you. And that's where, resolutions come in. Oh, we want to, lose weight, get better. We want to do more, all of those things. The unfortunate part is that once in a while we can set a goal and it turns out that it's really an intention. We can set a resolution and go, oh, yike. And then, it's now January 23rd and it's like, ooh, yike, I've already missed 5 days of the month. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Little tips and strategies on how you can make a difference in your life. One of the things that I was and for it to become effective and long term, we don't have to give up on our resolutions. We don't have to give up on our goals. We just have to approach them in a slightly different manner. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Well, and I want to start out with that because we make resolutions. That's something that we do worldwide. January, we're going to make a resolution. Those resolutions tend, more often than not, to be the same year after year after year. And so what they are is they are an intention of your heart. It's a desire, something that you hope to do. But they don't have a goal attached. And to get anywhere, you have to have a goal. If you're going to go on a trip and you're traveling from Florida to California, you're going to California. But how are you going to get there? That's your big goal. And then you break it out. Where am I going to spend the night? Am I going to make it to Georgia? Will I get that far? Will I make it out to Arkansas? And so you make those smaller steps to get to California. And that's where goals come in. And there's all kinds of things about goals and SMART goals, and you can even Google how to do SMART goals. But that's what we want to help you with here, is how to cause your resolutions / intentions to come to pass in your life.
And one of the things too, and we talked about it on our call this morning, that so often people set resolutions or they set goals based on last year.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your last year. Some of the things that you set your intentions or your goals or your resolutions, whatever you happen to want to call it, what did you set last January? Is that something that is still important to you? Or is it not?
Well, and over the last 2 years, so much has changed. What was important to us in 2019 for so many people has fallen totally off the
fallen by the wayside. Mm-hmm. Does it? So, and I think that's one of the biggest things that people get hung up on, trying to hold on to things that don't serve them anymore. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. And I truly believe that God gave us the ability to make decisions. We don't always make the right decision. Absolutely. However, we also have the ability to, when we do make a decision that might be slightly less than stellar, talking to the choir here, because there have been some decisions that I have made over the years that it's like, ooh, brother Barb, what was I thinking? Let it go.
Mhm.
Because if you made it based on somebody else's expectations, somebody else's resolutions, somebody else's input into your life, if it's not serving you, be honest with that person and just say, hey, you know what? This is not something that I want to do. This is not going to work for me. Like, I have to admit, I had a friend that he was in his 4th year of being in the first year of college. He did not want to go to college. He wanted to be an actor. He did not want to go to college to be a finance person. I think it was finance. But his father insisted that he go. And until he was 21, he couldn't tell him to, like, yeah, no, I'm not. And so he spent 4 years in the first year of college. How silly was that?
But I bet he had fun.
But that was pretty much all he did. And I look back on that and I can remember him saying that, oh, my dad wants me to be in college. So he was.
But how many of
First-
us live our lives with someone else's expectations,
Exactly.
someone else's goals and dreams for us?
Yeah.
And
Family businesses come under that heading.
oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Family businesses.
And so, we have to live what we're called to live. And you can watch children and you can see where their motivation is. In Proverbs, it says, train up a child in the way they should go. And when they're old, they won't depart it. Now, that part of that is training them in the scriptures, training them in good morals, good habits, etc. But it also means in the original text, it says the bent and leaning. And all of us have a bent and leaning of something it just jazzes our jets. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
And it does from when we're a child. And you can watch a child, the ones who are always wanting to be up in front of everybody and doing little skits and things like that, are the ones that are reading or drawing, the ones who have a talent for drawing. And yet, as we grow older, we come more under that guise of an adult, whether it's a parent or a teacher, of, oh, well, no, in fact, I have a friend he's a minister, a worldwide known minister, and he had a teacher once say, you're never going to make his dad wanted him to be in the family business. And he wanted to be an actor. And some acting teacher said, you'll never make your life on a stage. And he shared this the other day from a stage. He's on big stages worldwide and being streamed and stuff, and hundreds of thousands of people in the audience each time. But this person said, you'll never make your living on a stage. And that happens so many times. And so many people that, brilliant people being told how stupid they are. In fact, I think Einstein had to deal with that because he was a problem child in school.
Because he was a problem child because he couldn't balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
Like, a friend of my husband's was one of Einstein's students.
Oh, wow.
And and I mean, you would hear Bob talk about that because he when he was in college and he took, I guess, physics or psycho, whatever it is. And yet here's Einstein, the theory of relativity. We base so much of our things now on the theory of relativity, and yet he could not balance a checkbook.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like we get so caught up sometimes in what other people want for us. Like, I look back on as a kid, I always wanted to be a teacher. And I think I've told you this. But then luckily I took a student teaching class and realized that I would never, ever, 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 ever be a school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I love to teach.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens so often is people get pigeonholed. And I thought for years I could never, ever, ever be a teacher because I didn't want to be a school teacher. But when I got into network marketing and got my first taste of being on stage and training, this is what I want to do.
Yes.
I want to help people to get better at whatever it is that they're doing, personal development. And that's how I got into personal development. That because this is what I want to teach. I don't want to be a school teacher, but I'm a teacher. And I love it. And people say to me all the time, Barb, you are so patient when you're teaching us because I love it. Find the thing that you love to do.
And you'll never work a day in your life.
And you'll never work. And, so that's one of the things that we talked about, what we were going to talk about. If it is absolutely essential that what you have inside you is what makes all the difference, then make sure that what you're choosing to put inside you is what's going to make the difference.
And that covers what you watch, what you read, what you hear. There's a little song that little kids sing, be careful little ears, what you hear. Be careful, little eyes, what you see. And that's true because every bit of that goes into you. And then when something comes up, a tragedy or doesn't even have to be a tragedy, but just a tight place, you get squeezed.
Or a choice. When you have to make a choice.
That will come in.
And we are
what's inside of you will come out. So put good stuff in. Yeah. But there's a saying that you are the sum of the 5 people you associate with the most. Look at your friends. Are they kind? Are they successful? Are they happy? Do they pour into you and also let you pour into them? Or is it one-sided where they're going, you've got to do this, 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 this? Or if you're around someone who curses all the time, you will become immune to that. And eventually you will start cursing.
Right. And not think anything of it.
Not think anything of it. If all you do is watch negative news on the TV, negative. Think about just the last 2 years. The news was so negative, and so people started speaking negative and being negative and feeling negative, and it was just a downward spiral. You don't want a downward spiral in your life. So kind of look at your life. Take some time. Just get quiet, turn everything off, and see where you're going. Are you spiraling up? Or are you spiraling down?
Right. And one of the things is that I really totally now embraced the fact that life is an adventure.
Yes.
Life itself is the adventure. You don't have to go outside of anything to have an adventure. Look at your life. What is it that you can do? Because to me, life is a privilege.
Yes.
We're alive, but we're taking our next breath. It's a privilege. But living life to the fullest, that's my choice.
Yes. Yes.
And that's where it comes in. That's where motivation comes in. That's where you can choose what you're going to look at, what you're going to read, what you're going to hear. For me, I do not listen to the news. If it shows up that it's like, oh, okay, fine. I might look at something, to be, if especially if it's a thing about prayer, just in Denver, they had those big fires over Christmas. Okay, fine. Yeah. And I'll pray for that. Absolutely. But some of the stuff that's going on
and being rehashed every 30 minutes
and
have it the same thing around.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm not going to do it because one of the things that we talked about is I think if you are, excuse me, if you're depressed or anxious about something, Well, it's because you're spending too much time looking at that thing.
Well, and if you'll look, if you're depressed, you're looking backward. What coulda, shoulda, woulda been. If you're anxious, you're looking forward. What might be, what might happen. Today is a gift, and that's why it's called the present.
Yeah,
you want to live in the present, because that's the only place you have any control. Is your present. And your present will become your tomorrow or your yesterday.
Yeah.
And so if you want to live without regret, without depression, live today to the fullest. Make the best choices you can every moment of every day. Don't just let life happen to you. Choose.
Choose. Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, we do make wrong choices. Yeah, been there, done that. Welcome to my world. Welcome to life. But then if we can learn from those choices, and I think one of the biggest things is that I am learning for myself is to take responsibility for my choices. And it can be the choice of what I did this morning, of what did I eat for breakfast?
Yes. And that can make a difference in your whole day.
And that can make a difference.
You're not meant to fuel your body on ho-hos and ding-dongs.
Exactly.
You need to eat. And that's one of the things that we both are very strong about. Get up, get a good breakfast, lots of protein, and fuel your body. And
get a little bit active. Like one of the things, like I said, like one of the things that I share with people is, I still work in a restaurant. And people sometimes say to me, well, Barb, why do you still work at the restaurant? Because it gets me up standing. I stand, like some days that I'm there, I'll sit down for maybe half an hour. That's it, in a 7-hour shift. Because you're busy. And that is so important. So like at home, I have now gotten to the habit of setting an alarm clock, that I make sure that I'll set my alarm for 45 minutes and I'm sitting at my computer doing whatever. And all of a sudden the alarm will go off and well, it hasn't been 45 minutes. Oh yeah, I guess it has. The alarm's going off.
Yeah.
Barbara, go stand up.
Yeah. There's lots of little things we'll be teaching you every Monday for this whole year. And we are just so excited that you joined us. Feel free to put questions and comments in the question comment area.
in the notes below. Send us some love.
The notes below. Yes. Please send us some love. And for those of y'all watching on YouTube, give us a like, give us a share, subscribe, because it helps. It helps with all the algorithms, and we love doing this. We love coming to you every Monday with your Monday motivation, and hopefully you will take from what we've said and have a better week. Have a good rest of your life.
Right. And one of the things for me is that whenever I have listened to something, if I have come away with one little nugget, then it was time well spent.
Yes.
So, and it can be a fun thing. It can hit you like in your heart space, whatever. If you take one little thing, then it was valuable for you to be here.
Yes. Well, we're your Mavens of Motivation, and we thank you for joining us today. And we hope to see you again next week. Please share this with your friends. And we'd love to know what your aha moment from today is. So put that in the comments. We would highly appreciate that.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.